Now, we got an underdog list, so read in between the lines, okay?
boy.
You know what that
Okay.
might mean? Now, listen, Pittsburgh and the Patriots, that's kind of a pick-em thing.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, that doesn't count. These are the big ones that are surprises for
Okay.
the week. Who I would think maybe have a good chance to win. I'm going to go least likely to most likely,
Okay, let's get it.
Here we go. Number 5, we're going to put the Chargers. That's tomorrow night in Kansas City. LA could win the game because I love the quarterback. I mean, I like their little moxie. They won in Kansas City last year, but I don't think the Chargers are going to win back-to-back years in Arrowhead. Andy Reid's not going to allow that to happen. Mahomes played great last week. I also think Mahomes is getting sick of hearing about Herbert. He's going to play a big game. So it's not impossible, but it's least likely in my eyes. Number 4, Seattle. Now, Seattle is in San Francisco. Now, I give Seattle a chance here because I don't like Lance. So if you don't like Lance, you got to give Seattle an opportunity. The problem with Seattle in this ball game is they're coming off a huge win on Monday night. We had a lot of emotion. They beat Russell Wilson. Now they're going to go play a divisional rival in San Francisco, and that's asking a lot in 6 days. But it's the Niners, so you got to give Seattle a fighting chance. I don't think it's going to necessarily happen, but I give them a chance. Number 3 is Dallas against Cincinnati. Everybody writing the Cowboys off, thinking there's no way that Dallas can beat the Bengals. I don't want to hear it. Dallas Rush is going to be a good quarterback. Have you heard of Roger Staubach, who was the backup to Craig Morton? Dallas is going to hear all this nonsense about how their season is over. Tampa upset them and everything else. Don't be shocked. I know we got Cincinnati in there. Don't be shocked if Dallas plays well against the Bengals. Number 2, this is a little bit more from the most likely candidate. How about Jacksonville? The Jaguars played pretty well last week in Washington. They could have won the game. I'm a little worried about the quarterback. Lawrence has not been great. He was not great last week, but they beat Indianapolis last year in Week 18. If you remember correctly, they ruined the Colts season. They knocked them out of the postseason, Frank Wright included. They beat them 2 years ago with Rivers at quarterback. Jacksonville's at home. That Trevon Walker had a big pick last week. There's some feistiness there. I give Jacksonville a very good chance to win a game at home against the Colts. And number 1 in my eyes this week that I love, I like the Saints. I think the Saints are going to play very well against Tampa. Tampa, an emotional Sunday night game. Obviously, Saints have beaten them 7 straight regular season games, which you like. They didn't win the playoff game, but 7 straight in the regular season. Here's the other thing I like about the Saints this week. That was an incredible win. 26-10 down fourth quarter against Atlanta on the road last week. They scored 17 points, 2-point conversions all over the place. Lutz made a 51-yard field goal. Everybody thinks the Saints have a chance to be a big-time team. They're confident. They stole one. Dennis Allen. I give the Saints a good chance to beat Tampa. Chargers, least likely. Seattle, tough spot in San Francisco, back-to-back, but I got to put them in the mix because of Lance. Dallas, Cooper Rush is going to play great. 2, of course, is Jacksonville because they play well against the Colts. And I will give New Orleans against Brady at the Superdome, their home opener. I'll give them the best opportunity as an underdog to win this week in the NFL.
I have no problem with 5 and 4. Number 1 here, y'all need to pump the brakes. Everyone expects that New Orleans is going to give Tampa Bay a run for their money because we understand how big that defense is, combined with the fact that they've had Tampa Bay's number during the regular season. Might have lost to Tom Brady in the postseason, but over the last few seasons, again, with the last couple of seasons in Tampa Bay, New Orleans has had their number. So don't act like that's some big upset that nobody sees this coming or whatever the case may be. That's going to be very, very interesting. Let's get to your 2 here. First of all, with Indy. Indy just lost. Okay, just tied, with Houston. Okay.
Which should have been a loss.
Which should have been a loss. Not to mention they're coming off. I mean, listen, they lose to Jacksonville last year. That's why Carson Wentz is going. You got a new quarterback in Matt Ryan there. I think that Indy's going to handle their business because they're just a superior team to Jacksonville. Yes, Jacksonville's going to be at home, obviously in front of their home crowd. That potentially might have an effect. But with Indy understands that, with Tennessee in the same conferences, you need to handle your business as well. You got to make sure you're handling your business. These are the games that you have to win. So I'm not buying that. And as it pertains to this, you're going to really sit here with a straight face?
Dallas got a chance.
And act like Cooper
Dallas
Rush.
has a chance.
Like Cooper Rush.
He beat Minnesota last year.
So what, last year, right?
On the road.
Last year on the road. They're at home against Cincinnati, a team that just lost to Pittsburgh. All right, in the opening week, Joe Burrow, obviously, he was injured in the summer. We know he had to have that operation, okay? He'll be back, him and Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and the crew. You trying to tell me Cooper Rush, not Dak Prescott, Cooper Rush, with a wide receiver that's the number 1 and CeeDee Lamb that's just starting to be a number 1, with a number 2 in James Washington that was in Pittsburgh last year, familiarizing himself with the system. No Amari Cooper, no Cedric Wilson. You're telling me that Cooper Rush with
Dallas
that
can win the
crew,
game. Yeah, they can win the game.
They can win the game.
They can definitely win the game. First off, Lamb's going to be excited because he's got Chase on the field, so he's going to get motivated to show Chase that he's a good receiver, too. That's number one. And when you make it sound like that Prescott is Joe Montana, how do we know that Prescott's here and Rush is there?
What do you mean how do you know that? What do you mean how do you know that? You're trying to tell me you're trying to tell me that Cooper Rush is in the same ballpark as Dak Prescott? That's what you're about to say.
I'm not saying that. Don't put words in my mouth. I didn't say that. I said
you said how do we know he's not here? All right, that's what you said.
Prescott is not there.
Why would we believe that?
And Rush might be a little better than we think. So the difference between Prescott and Rush might be very small compared to what you think when he's at the sky and Rush is down at the bottom. How do we know that? Did you see Prescott play those first 3 quarters last week in Tampa? He stunk in a game.
He looked awful.
Awful.
But excuse me.
Awful. I'm tired about Dak Prescott.
Not only do you have questions about Dak Prescott, but you also pointed out how you struggle to make him a top 10 quarterback.
Yes.
Yet, Cooper Rush is a backup. Case closed.
They gave him $40 million.
No. Before he got his money.
Hey.
Before he got his money, he was still a backup. Nobody was thinking about no damn Cooper Rush. So we like the name.
Listen,
So
I love
let's go
your
back.
list, but they're going to be trying to redeem themselves.
That's right.
5 turnovers.
Maybe Cincinnati's not that good.
Burrow's not going to have
Maybe they're not that good.
turnovers again.
They let Trubisky beat him.
Listen,
Why are you screaming at me?
Listen,
Why are you
first
screaming
week of the
I'm mad at you.
NFL season, really strong show by you. But you got to go do some more shows.
Yeah,
So
you
it's
did
just
that.
me and him the rest of the
Enjoy.
way.
Southern
A lot of
California.
fun.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.